Thank you for bringing me that tea. I really needed it. So this is the real part. What I'm teaching you so far is interesting and clever, but it's reasonably trivial compared to the more challenging bit, which is how do we get past our limiting beliefs, our old ways of thinking, and give ourselves, and ladies who are listening to me, you may have no interest or need to learn about seduction, but there's probably some area in your life where you'd like to take a few steps that you've been afraid to take, or you've been stepping hesitantly, or it hasn't felt very good for you. So listen, because you may have no challenge getting men, but there's got to be some area of your life where you'd like to try out some new behaviors, but it's been difficult. It's like, have you ever felt when you go to change, there's a part of you that's fighting yourself? The part of you wants to change, but another part doesn't. So let's get back to talking about this. I introduced the idea last night of creating a state where you can review what you did and see what works. Creating a little hypnotic state. So I'm going to teach a little self-hypnosis to all of you that you can use for anything. But the idea being is that when you dwell on your mistakes, that's what you reprogram back in. We want to avoid doing that. In an area of life that's deeply challenging, boy, you really are cold, aren't you? Mullen, did you ask them about warming it up a little bit? Good, thank you. Talk. Remember, in an area of life that's deeply challenging and filled with difficult emotions, it can be difficult to recognize when you're making progress. I had a student who used my material, and after about 6 weeks of playing around with it, he started to get really good with it. He walked into a club, and there was this drop-dead gorgeous, smoking hot girl, and he proceeded to use my stuff. And first of all, guys, have you ever seen guys walk up to a woman and then they do like this U-turn? There's like, she's got this invisible shield and they never complete walking up to talk to her. Every guy in the place was doing that except for him. He had done my unstoppable confidence stuff and my nail your inner game, and he walked right over to her. Within like 10 minutes he was making out with her. And occasionally he would pause and look, and there'd be, everyone would be looking at him like, what the fuck does this guy have that I don't, right? He's got speed seduction. So he gets her phone number. He figures, I'm going to play it cool. I'm going to make her wait 3 days. After 3 days, he goes to get the piece of paper where her phone number is written. Guess what? He can't find it. He trashes his condominium, and then he goes, oh my God, it's trash night. It all went into the dumpster. I gotta go dumpster diving. Do you know what a dumpster is? It's the big, huge, you've seen them? Like, do you know what I'm talking about? So he goes to the back of the condo complex and he's dumpster diving. He says he's going through trash, he's going through dirty diapers, used cat litter, rotten food. After 90 minutes, he comes up empty-handed, no phone number. And he said something that really stuck with me. He said, Ross, I've been depressed for the last 6 weeks. I can't even talk to a woman. My old self came back. Now, I found that absolutely fascinating. Where was his old self when he was making out with that hot woman at the club? Anybody? Any guesses?
Absolutely never existed.
Where did his new self go when he couldn't find the phone number? Maybe it's not useful to even think in terms of self. Fact of the matter is that he had had a long period of life where he looked at his relating to women through a lot of negativity. And because one thing went wrong, he forgot everything he did right and looked at it through that whole veil of negativity. And it screwed him up. So what I want to do is teach you guys a little process of self-hypnosis that you can use to put yourself into a state that when it comes time to look at what you did, you can first and foremost see what you did right. So are we all agreeable to learn a little bit of self-hypnosis?
Yes.
Those who don't want to learn, you don't have to. So it's really, really, really easy. What you do is you sit comfortably with your legs, feet flat on the floor. In fact, what we could do is I could teach a volunteer, and then based on how the volunteer responds, you guys could see how it works. Does someone want to volunteer to learn self-hypnosis? And then, you want to be my volunteer? You willing to be on camera?
If this off is better,
Huh?
can we turn it off?
No, I want someone who's willing to be on camera. Yes, you. Young lady, come up here. Thanks. We're going to teach you a little self-hypnosis. It's very easy. I'm just cleaning the chair. Have a seat. And now I'm going to teach her, and then we're all going to do it. What's your name?
Becky.
Okay, Becky, this is very easy. Actually, this chair is not very comfortable. Can we give her one of these comfy chairs? How do they work? Are they tied to the other chairs, or? Are they free? Would you please grab this comfy chair? We're going to make you sit in the comfy chair.
Needed at this point.
Yeah. Let's move this one out of the way. So I'm getting her to do what I tell her to do. Have a seat. This chair is much more comfortable, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. This is really, really, really easy. Really, really simple. So put your hands flat on your legs. I want you to pick a hand. It doesn't matter which one you pick. I don't care. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. See this little finger here? In a minute, I'm going to tell you to close your eyes. And when you do, when you inhale, I want you to very slightly move that finger upward. And when you exhale, just drop the finger. Do you understand? Okay, so close your eyes for me. And we're going to do that 10 times. So inhale, and when you inhale, just slightly raise that finger. That's way too big a movement. So let's make it even slighter. Okay? So very, very slightly move that finger up. And now drop it with the exhale. And we're going to do 10 of those. Okay? Really good. You're doing great. And when you've done 10 of those, just nod your head for me. And notice I'm not telling her to try to relax or go into trance. I'm just giving her something she can do. That's right. Very small, gentle movements of that finger upward in time. That's right. That's good. When you did 10 of them, just nod your head. Now, I want you to take just a minute to pause and notice anywhere in your body where you feel comfort, where you feel rest, or where you feel relaxation. Don't try to relax, don't try to be comfortable, but just notice anywhere in your body where you feel comfort, you feel rest, you feel relaxation. And take a minute just to be with that. Very good. Now we're going to do this again, but this time we're not going to raise the finger. You're going to inhale, but when you exhale, you're going to gently press down with that finger. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. It's a very gentle pressing. So do that 10 times. Inhale, and then exhale. Gently press. That's right. Release it with the inhale, and gently press. When you've done 10, just nod your head. You're doing very well. Very good. So again, just take a moment to observe anywhere you feel comfort, anywhere you feel relaxation, anywhere it feels good. That's right. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to begin to show you how to count yourself down into a nice, relaxed, hypnotic state. So if you can, and I know you can, I want you to imagine in your mind that you can see the number 3. I want you to very slightly turn your eyes upward, just a little bit upward, keeping your eyes closed. Not so much that there's pressure, just a little bit. And I want you to see the number 3. And say to yourself on the inside, 3. And now I want you to see the number 3 flashing again and say to yourself, 3. And now, one more time, 3. And now, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. And I'm just going to very gently take this finger and put it against your thumb very gently and just maintain a gentle contact there. And now this is a state of gentle, easy hypnotic learning. And in this state, from this place, you can look at anything that you've done recently, and the first thing you'll notice is anything and everything that you did that was well done, from the smallest to the largest, it doesn't matter. Notice anything you did that was done well. That's right. And when you notice that you did something well, and you feel some of what it feels like to have done something well, you can just put a little bit, you can just put a tiny little bit of pressure of that thumb against the forefinger to let you know that you've done something well. That's right. And again, notice in your body anywhere you feel relaxation, anywhere you feel comfort, anywhere you may feel feelings of enjoyment. Now notice when someone relaxes, you may see little twitches. That's just the muscles releasing. I'm not making her tense. That's fine. The body's just doing what it needs to do. And now in this situation where you did something, I want you from this place of comfort and ease and relaxation to maybe see something you could have done differently. Remembering now, but also holding on to these feelings of comfort and relaxation. You can notice where maybe you could have done something different. Maybe you could have done something different in your behavior, something different in your attitude, something different in how you responded. And nod your head if you can. That's right. But notice from this place of comfort, this place of ease, how whatever happened just doesn't seem to bother you the way it did. Correct? That's right. And now just allow your creative imagination to think of something you could have done differently. Not you should have or you had to, but maybe a way you could have done things differently. Something different in your response, something different in your behavior, maybe something in the way you just allowed yourself to think about it differently. Have you got that? And just gently put some pressure on that forefinger. And you notice when you look at it from this place, it's not nearly as upsetting, is it? No. It's a place of ease and comfort. Very good. Now, one more thing is to imagine a time in the future when you'll be in a situation similar to this. But this time, you're going to be able to take this new response with you and see yourself acting in that different way. You got it? Mm-hmm. Very good. Okay, so now that you're done, it just takes a minute or two and keep your eyes closed. You're just going to count yourself up. So this time we're going to do it in reverse. So 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. Open your eyes for me. How do you feel?
Yeah, quite relaxed.
Huh?
Relaxed?
Well,
More empowered?
do you feel more relaxed? Do you feel comfortable? Yeah. Was that easy?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that simple. So go ahead. You can have a seat. So we'll take everybody through the process and then we're going to go to lunch. She did that very well. Have you done hypnosis before?
No.
Never?
A bit of meditation.
What's that?
A bit of meditation.
Bits of meditation? Okay, yeah.
How is that self-hypnosis?
Because I showed her the process, she can now do it for herself.
You showed us the process. She was.
Well, but I had to show her the process. Now, if she does it with herself, it's self-hypnosis. You understand? She understands.
Basically, this way you can program yourself to do it.
Well, I didn't say that. I'm not going to take it that far, but it's very simple. Here's the steps. The first step in doing this, first step is to sit comfortably. Okay? Step 2, put your hands flat on your legs. Hands flat. Pick a hand. Right? So let's all do that. So pick a hand. And now you're going to take the first finger of that hand. You understand? You're going to close your eyes. Take the first finger of that hand. And when you inhale, you're going to very, 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 very gently raise that finger in time with the inhale. We're going to make it a very small movement, a movement so small that someone sitting like 5 feet away wouldn't be able to detect it. You understand? Down go the lids. All right, and you're going to do that for 10 breaths. So everyone do that for 10 breaths, and then the exhale, you just drop the finger. Notice I'm not telling you to try to relax. I'm not giving you any commands to relax. You're just going to do this. Once you've done that 10 times, you're going to take a minute and just notice. I'm not saying to create it or to make yourself do it, but just notice anywhere in the body where you feel comfort, where you feel relaxation, where you feel any pleasurable feelings. Don't try to create it, don't try to relax, but just notice anywhere in your body where you feel comfort, relaxation, feelings that are pleasurable. You take about a minute and just notice what's there. You don't try to relax, you just notice anywhere you might feel comfort, anywhere you might feel relaxation, anywhere it might feel pleasurable. Good. Now what you're going to do is you're not going to do anything on the inhale, but on the exhale, you're going to gently press that finger down. Very gently press the finger down on the exhale. So go ahead and do 10 breaths. On the inhale, you don't raise the finger, you leave it alone, let it rest. But on the exhale, press it gently down on the leg. Inhale, release the pressure of the finger. Exhale, just press the finger against the leg. And inhale, release the pressure. Keep the pressure really light. And just do 10 of those. Remember, on the inhale, you don't need to raise the finger. You just let the finger be there. On the exhale, you push down. And once you've done that 10 times, again, you take a minute to notice anywhere in the body you feel relaxed, anywhere you feel comfortable, anywhere you feel pleasure. Really, really, really good. Just take another minute to do that. Notice, by the way, that I'm not telling you to relax or feel comfort or feel pleasure. I'm just inviting you to notice where the body on its own creates that. And now what you're going to do is very gently turn your eyes upward, keeping your eyes closed. Turn them upwards about 30 degrees. And you're going to flash the number 3, and to yourself you're going to say in your mind 3. And then see the number 3 flashing again and say to yourself 3. And see the number 3 flashing again and say to yourself 3. And now 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. And now take your thumb and your forefinger and gently touch them together. Very gently touch them together. No pressure, just the barest, lightest contact. And now this is your place of hypnotic learning. This is a place of comfort and ease. It's a place where there's nothing to prove, nothing to accomplish, nothing to worry about. It's a place where you're free to learn. Now, this is the place you want to create when you review something that you've done. And first and foremost, however it occurs for you, you're going to see whatever you did well. Whatever you did well. Whatever gave you any sense or feeling that you did something right in the situation. And when you get that feeling that you've done something correctly, something in your attitudes, something in your behavior, from the smallest to the largest thing, no matter what it is, just gently press your thumb and forefinger together, very gently. Let's say for you guys, you're reviewing a situation where you went out to meet women and you did one thing right. You actually went out the door. At least that's something you did well. Sort through the experience and find anything you did well. Anything you did competently. Anything you did that actually worked to some degree. And gently squeeze that thumb and forefinger together when you have that sense that, wow, I did something well. And now, what you can do is begin to look at that situation and see some ways you could have done something different. Just keeping a little bit of that thumb and forefinger, squeeze together. With that feeling that you did something well, see anything you could have done differently. Something different in your behavior, something different in the way you responded, something different in some way. And maybe nothing right now is coming up, but that's okay. Maybe it'll come up in a dream at night or when you're sort of daydreaming. And now very simply, in whatever way that occurs, imagine a time in the future with this new response, this new way of acting, this new way of feeling, and gently squeeze that thumb and forefinger together. And now the final part of the process is to count yourself back up. So what you do is you flash the number 1 and say 1. You turn your eyes upward 30 degrees. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. And open your eyes. Now, very interesting. Some of you are still in trance. It's very interesting to be awake as a person but asleep in your body. Some of you are really good subjects. You're awake as a person but you're still sort of asleep as a body. Others of you are awake as a body but asleep as a person. I can look now. How many of you were able, now listen, let me make some distinctions. You can shake yourself out of that for a minute. You can like shake your hands or stand up for a second. How many of you found that you were able to get some feelings of comfort and relaxation and, right? Raise your hand if you could feel comfortable or relaxed or, right, okay. And how many of you were able to look at that situation and notice something that you did correctly? No, anything you did correctly, from the smallest to the largest thing, something, right? Good. And how many of you were able to look at where maybe you did something that was missing but you didn't feel so bad about it? And then how many were able to get some rough idea of something they could have done differently without feeling upset? Oh my God, I fucked it up. I really screwed up. Do you understand? Okay, good. And notice one thing I didn't say. I didn't say tell yourself to relax, did I? Did I say that? At no time. All I said was notice where you feel relaxed, where you feel comfort, where you feel at peace, where you feel feelings of pleasure. Right? You get it?
Yep.
What we want to avoid, see, I don't believe there's any such thing as self-esteem. I believe there's a certain set of skills, and one of those skills is to look at what we did, notice what we did right, and glance at what we need to correct without being refastened on it. I don't believe people are deliberate self-sabotagers or losers. They just don't have a good way of learning, so they dwell on their mistakes over and over and over again, trying to fix it, but all they do is reprogram the mistakes back in. Now, if all you do with this process is spend 10 minutes a day in this relaxed state, you're going to feel better anyway, and you're going to do better anyway. But you may as well use it to learn in areas of your life that have been very, very deeply challenging. Now, the other thing that I want to say is there's one or two people here, and I'm not going to point them out, who really had a really good experience with that. And they may notice that my voice is something that has a really nice effect. So I invite those people, I won't point them out. If you find that you really just want to close your eyes and go back into that state and listen to me from there, that's fine, if that's what you find happening. And if not, that's fine too. All right. Very good. Everybody stand up just for a minute. Let's come back to reality, whatever that means. And then sit back down. Okay, here's what's going to happen. We're going to take lunch. We'll reconvene at 2. I'm going to teach again at 2, from 2 to 2:30. Then Haley Quinn's going to come and teach for like 90 minutes, and then I'll come back on. So, thank you, everybody. And hurrah for me. And hurrah for the spook. If anyone wants to come try this, if you want to try it, you can, but it hurts.